You know that feeling when you're pouring all of your energy into something, a project, a new skill, a personal goal, but you just feel stuck? Like you're not making any real progress? You're putting in the hours, the effort is definitely there, but the results, they just aren't showing up. It's got to be one of the most frustrating things ever.
So what gives? Why does this happen? Why does our hard work sometimes feel like we're just spinning on a hamster wheel, you know? Whole lot of motion, but we're not actually getting anywhere. What if the problem isn't how much energy we're using, but how we're using it? Well, according to some really ancient wisdom, the answer might just be hiding in a single, powerful Pali word, Vīmaṃsā. Now, think of it like a missing piece of code, or an ancient algorithm that's designed to turn all that blind effort into intelligent, effective action. Okay, let's dive into this.
So what is Vīmaṃsā really? It's not just some abstract philosophical idea. You should think of it as a practical tool, almost like an intelligent feedback system that's built right into your own mind.
Okay, so let's break it down. The first part of the word, V, means something special, something penetrating or powerful. It suggests a really focused, deep dive kind of analysis. Actually, if you've ever heard of Vipassana meditation, it's the exact same V, a precise, piercing way of seeing things.
And then you've got the second part, Vīmaṃsā. This comes from a root that means to measure, to weigh, or to investigate. It's all about evaluation and analysis. It's like you're putting your actions on a scale to see if they really measure up.
So when we put those two parts together, we see that Vīmaṃsā isn't just investigation. A much better, more functional way to think about it is this. It's the special, precise measurement and evaluation of all your ongoing processes. It's the absolute opposite of just trying harder without thinking. It's about using data to constantly tweak your strategy.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? To make this ancient algorithm feel a bit more intuitive, let's look at 4 modern analogies that perfectly capture what it does. Think of them as smart tech apps your mind can run anytime.
First up, Vīmaṃsā is like a programmer's real-time debugger. As you're running the code of your own effort and focus, this debugger is constantly scanning in the background. It's asking, hey, am I pushing too hard and getting all agitated? Or am I maybe a little too relaxed and getting drowsy? It catches these bugs in your mental state before they crash the whole system. This lets you find that perfect sweet spot for peak performance.
Second, it's basically your mind's GPS rerouting algorithm. I mean, think about it. When you hit a massive traffic jam on your way to a goal, what do? Just slam your foot on the accelerator? Of course not. Vīmaṃsā is that intellectual flexibility that makes you stop and ask, okay, why isn't this working? And then it analyzes the data and finds a smarter, more efficient route around the problem.
Third, you can think of it like a stock trader's backtesting software. A smart trader doesn't just blindly stick with one strategy, right? They're constantly checking if it's actually working against proven principles. In the same way, Vīmaṃsā is that analytical lens that compares your methods against a reliable standard. In its original context, this was the Dhamma, or universal principles, to make sure your strategy is actually sound.
And finally, number 4, Vīmaṃsā is like a sound engineer's studio monitor. A musician doesn't just play their instrument, they're also listening through these super precise speakers to hear exactly what the audience is going to hear. That's Vīmaṃsā, the ability to observe your own performance from an objective, third-person perspective and fine-tune your actions in real time to create that perfect harmony between what you intend to do and what actually happens.
So this tool is obviously a total game changer. But here's the really cool part. It's not meant to work all by itself. It's actually the final, critical piece of a much larger, time-tested formula for success. Let's see exactly where it fits in.
This formula is known as the Iddhipāda, or the 4 foundations of success. It all starts with chanda, which is the will or desire to reach a goal. Then comes virya, that's the energy and effort you put in. Next up is chitta, your focused concentration. But, and this is a big but, without that 4th and final step, Vīmaṃsā, the first 3 are just raw, untamed power. Vīmaṃsā is the quality assurance step that channels all that power and makes it effective. And this comparison just lays it out perfectly. Without Vīmaṃsā, you've got blind energy. And where does that lead? Usually to wasted effort and eventually burnout. But when you add Vīmaṃsā to the mix, that very same energy gets transformed into intelligent action, strategic progress, and sustainable growth. It's literally the difference between just being busy and actually being effective.
So here's the bottom line. Vīmaṃsā is the thing that turns raw energy into applied wisdom. It's your own personal internal quality assurance system, making sure that what you're doing is actually getting you closer to where you want to go.
There's a line from our source material that just captures this perfectly. Without Vīmaṃsā, energy is just noise. With it, energy becomes wisdom. I mean, that's the core takeaway right there. All the passion and hard work in the world can just become counterproductive static if it isn't guided by intelligent feedback.
So here's the practical application. What you can do today. Start treating your actions like data points. Seriously, look at your life, your work, your personal goals, and ask that key analytical question. Is this method I'm using actually reducing struggle? Is it making things better? This simple shift moves you from being just a passive participant to an active scientist in your own life.
And that leaves us with one final, very powerful question to ask yourself right now about whatever goal is most important to you. This is the question that turns on Vīmaṃsā. Is what you're doing actually working?